Hey everyone, and welcome to 1.21 Jigowatts. I am Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly trailer talk show in which we take some of the movie trailers from the week and talk about them and discuss them and see how they are and what we're excited about, what we're not excited about. At the end of the show, we'll pick our favourite of the week, and that's what we do. That's what this show is every week.
Yeah, yeah. It's always a bit more roundabout than usual.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel that the intro's just too boring. I try to pizzazz it up a
Like
little bit.
I was waiting, thinking you were gonna keep going because you just kept going on that one.
Yeah, bit of razzle dazzle, I guess, or some attempt at razzle dazzle. I don't know. But anyway, so we got 6 trailers this week to talk about. So it's a fairly light week, in trailers, but still enough worth doing a show this week. And we're going to start with a trailer, 2 Netflix trailers. You know it's a lighter week when we're starting with the Netflix ones, because usually there'll be a couple of headliners before we get to the rest. But we're going straight to Netflix this week with The Kindergarten Teacher. Not to be fused. This is not like a spin-off or some sort of sequel to The Kindergarten Cop. I was kind of hoping it was when I clicked
Of
on it.
course you were.
I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for it's not a tumor or something of thereabouts. Unfortunately, that was not the case. And before anyone tells us in the comments, I am well aware that there was a direct-to-video sequel starring Dolph Lundgren a couple of years ago. I've not already seen it actually. I probably should, but it looks like a mediocre direct-to-video sequel, so I never did. But this is actually a serious drama with Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yes.
It's a proper film. It's a proper film that could win like an acting award by the looks of it. At least all the quotes that were popping up were telling me that anyway.
Yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, it's the best performance she's ever given," and I'm like, Have you people seen The Deuce?
The Deuce. I'd even go one step further and maybe even say Secretary
That's up there.
is maybe even. I mean, obviously we've got more seasons of The Deuce coming, so we'll see how I feel after season 2. But yeah, so obviously she's a fantastic actress, and she plays a teacher who discovers that one of her students might be like a genius, like just
Yeah.
someone who is insanely talented from a young age, like a Mozart, right? I think that's what she compares him to at one point.
Yes.
And we see that he's writing. He's basically not even writing because he can't write yet, but he's saying poetry. He's spouting out poetry, and she gives this to someone who knows about poetry. And this is good, right? And he's like, oh yeah, this is so complex yet so simple and elegant. And he's like, oh, he could be great. He could be a famous before he's 6 years old. He could be that good. And the kid's dad wants no part of it. He's like, no, I want my kid to have a normal life. He's got baseball practice. And she's like, baseball? You're wasting your son's time on baseball when he's like this, genius, this poetic madman? What are you doing? What are you doing, you fool? So she starts to overstep her bounds and takes him from class and takes him from school to go to various things like a recital to, whatever else.
Museums.
Yeah. And so even the trailer starts to feel a little bit uncomfortable as she's doing this when she's obviously clearly stepping over a line. And there's like a point towards the end of the trailer where the kid is on the phone and he does seem to ask for help as if he knows he's been kidnapped, but he doesn't seem to know that for a lot of the trailer.
Yeah.
And it also looks like it's not just one day. It looks like this is like an ongoing thing where she keeps doing it without anyone knowing.
Yeah, they seem to be away. There's a little cabin. They're at a beach or a lake or whatever it is.
I imagine it escalates as the movie goes on. What did you think of this trailer though? That was the gist of it.
I thought it was not the best trailer. I think the movie itself could be very good. I'm sure her performance is excellent, if nothing else. But the trailer left me a bit cold. I don't know. Well, it didn't really grab me.
I thought it was fine for a while. I thought what was strange about it for me was towards the end, the music started to turn as if it was almost getting like scary, like suspenseful, as if she might hurt the kid. Maybe he's actually in danger, and I'm not really getting that impression from what I'm seeing. Like what she's doing is wrong.
It felt like she
sure.
was stealing the kid to be her own, if anything, rather than hurting the kid.
But the strings that were coming in the soundtrack were making me it's like, oh, they try to imply that he's in danger, like she's psychotic.
Yeah,
I wasn't
never got that
psychotic.
from the trailer.
Yeah,
and it's possible that someone's seen the movie and knows more than we do.
Possibly, yeah,
but not from that trailer.
Yeah, I was getting more of like an awkward drama that dealt with this person who was really like overstepping her rights and bounds. And that's like it'll be very awkward and hard to watch because of these these like situations where she has to confront the parents, or the parents are confronting her, or when the kid realizes what's going on, like these kind of things. I wasn't getting tense thriller out of the story.
I think that the way I can see it is she actually does, eventually just kidnap him for all intents and purposes, and they kind of go on the run a bit, and she's trying to do all these, smart things, but not get caught by the parents.
Yes.
That's where I can see tension really coming from. But again, the music implied danger to the kid, and I never got that.
Yes. It was implying that. It was the sort of music that I'd expected in a trailer, like about someone with an unhinged mind, where they might snap and kill someone at any point.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But the story itself wasn't telling me that. But maybe it'll go that direction. I don't know. But yeah, I think the movie could be good. Like I think I expect her performance to be great, if nothing else.
Yeah,
it's an interesting subject. The idea that the teacher recognizes, oh, this could be like a world famous. This could be in 100 years people could be talking about this kid because he, is the best poet of the century or whatever.
Yeah.
But the parents are like, nah, I'd rather just have a normal childhood and play video games, and they'll get into trouble and normal shit.
Yeah.
It's an interesting subject. I don't know. But that's the kindergarten teacher. Next up, also Netflix, we got a trailer for a film called After Party. And this is about a rapper who is trying to make it big. He's not doing super well, trying his best. This is a bit of a comedy. But he ends up meeting a famous rapper and gets high, goes on stage and performs, and ends up vomiting and having a seizure. He vomits all over the famous rapper and then has a seizure.
Wiz Khalifa. You should,
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, but it's a real person.
I'm not surprised. I'm sure most of the people in this are cameos by real rappers and
probably. But that one in particular is like, most people know who that one is, I think.
Literally never heard of him.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
Okay.
So, but he has a seizure, and it becomes a bit of a viral sensation where everyone's making fun of him on the internet because he's Seizure Boy or whatever they call him.
Yeah.
And so basically, in an effort to try and reconcile his what was not really much of a career in the first place, but now everyone knows who he is and they're laughing at him, that he might just never make it now. So his best friend / manager is like, no, we just have to get into this after party where all the big wigs are going to be, all the rap community. We just have to get in there, but they won't let them in. So it seems to be what I thought. If I have a complaint about the trailer, which I think the movie appeals to me anyway. Like I'm not into this, but
no,
I think my complaint would be if the movie's about it's on the night of the after party and they're drowning around trying to like meet the qualifications to get in. One of which we see is like, oh, come back with more women, and they go to a strip club and there's like a joke where that doesn't work. If it's going to be stuff like that and it's all set in the night where they're drowning around trying to make sure they can get into this party, and the rapper keeps having doubts about maybe it's just over, or the manager, no, best friend, I'm getting you in there, god damn it. Like, fine, that's a fine idea for a movie. I thought the trailer didn't get to that point until like 2/3 through. Like most of it was the build up to the first part.
Yeah, it's an oddly paced trailer. In some ways, I can appreciate that though. Showing the opening of the movie, the setup. Maybe not so much in a movie like this, but in a lot of movies, I appreciate just seeing the beginning and just teasing me rather than showing me too much from the main bulk of it.
I think it's just because purely this is what the concept of the whole movie is, so it just felt weird to me that we didn't even get to that part until the last 30-40 seconds of the trailer. But that doesn't appeal to me really.
Not me either.
Humor wasn't landing for me. Clearly I know nothing about rap, so I don't really care about that side of it either. Not that I need to though. There's many a film where I don't care about the subject. I don't watch Rocky because I like boxing. I don't give a shit about boxing. I watch Rocky because it's a good movie, but not feeling it. Not feeling it. So that's After Party.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you're not feeling it either, right? You said you don't.
No, not at all.
Yeah, fair. Speaking of things I'm not feeling, we got a trailer for the Nutcracker and the Four Realms.
This is apparently official trailer 2.
Apparently,
I don't remember there being a first one.
I never saw the first one.
I've never heard of this movie before today.
No. Well, look, Joe, it's funny. I actually have heard. I didn't hear the full title. I heard someone say they were going to be dragged to the Nutcracker earlier this week, and I was like, Nutcracker? What are you talking about? And I've heard of the Nutcracker in general, but what are you talking about? Like, oh, okay, this is what they're talking about. This is the Nutcracker in the Four Realms. It is Disney's latest live action.
Bomb. Let's call it what it is, because they all are.
They're not all bombs.
All right, most of them.
I mean, Cinderella did really well, and Beauty and the Beast.
No, see, no. They're the adaptations of the fairy tales. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, this, Wrinkle in Time, those sorts of
sure.
ones.
Okay, but you cannot tell me this isn't going for a fairy tale feeling.
Oh, it's going for that.
Yeah.
But so was Wrinkle in Time, really, for a lot of that sort of stuff.
Yes, it's now I've never actually experienced any version of the Nutcracker, so I actually didn't know what this is about.
No?
Nah, so much of the trailer, some girl, her mum's dead, and she finds out her mum is like this magic princess inventor person in this other world, and now she's there and she's like the new princess queen or whatever, and there's a evil ginger trying to take the kingdom from her. And I'm not even making that up. They actually say it's the ginger or something, like the.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually her characteristic. She's the ginger. I can get behind this. At least I appreciate the script.
Yeah. So I thought was really weird about this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They used very little of the Nutcracker music. There was like one little snippet at the start.
At the start, yeah, you just hear it at the start,
and then just went into something else entirely.
It was a cover of an old pop song, right?
It was. I can't remember what now.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really strange choice not to be using what is very famous music.
See, I wouldn't use it at the start. I would use a little bit, but I'd use it at the end. I'd have it when the title comes up.
Yeah.
Like have the pop song up until the end, and then when you reveal the title at the end, that's when you dun 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 dun. That's when you have it play.
Sure. That was not the best rendition, but sure.
You know what I meant?
I do.
What are you looking at? You're looking over there as if there's something really important happening.
I was just checking because I thought for some reason I remembered the title, something at the start, and when that music is, I thought, did it come with a title screen early on? And do you know what it is? It's the Disney logo that comes. That's when the music changes.
Ah.
So I was like, because you said, "I'll put it over the titles." I'm like, it was definitely over something. What was the titles at the start? And it was just the Disney logo.
Yeah, it doesn't count. That's not what I meant.
No, I agree.
But yeah, so that was. I mean, it looks like what it is. It looks. There are all these weird cuts to the ballet version, like in the middle of it, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if it's going to cut to ballet, like randomly in the movie.
I think I'd rather just watch the ballet.
I think I'm good regardless. I think. I thought the young actress here, I don't know if it's necessarily her or the direction, but I thought she was.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of it's her fault.
Yeah, it didn't feel natural to me, the performance.
No, but then you've got like Morgan Freeman in there sounding very stiff.
Yeah, something about the whole thing felt just a little bit off to me. I don't want to quite say cheap per se, but it's almost like they're going for like a pantomime look to it. It doesn't feel quite real enough.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And the whole thing just kind of reeked to me of, I don't know, just I felt like I was watching a really expensive but low, like a really expensive play that's pretending to be a movie.
I think you got it when you said pantomime.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive pantomime.
Yeah, everything looks a bit off because they're not trying for realism, but it's not like super stylized either. It looks kind of, no, that looks like a stage.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it was
weird. Yeah,
but I can't say I give a single shit about this one, to be honest. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure this will be out in the that time of year, November, December, right?
End of November it's out.
Yeah, and frankly, that time of year is busy enough.
Yes, we're busy for movies this year, and not that I'd be seeing this one anyway, but it's there if you care about the Nutcracker, you've got a new rendition for you. Next up, we had a trailer for Slaughterhouse Rulez, which is a British comedy, well, horror comedy, I suppose.
Horror comedy, yeah.
A private school, and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are both in it. Although they're not the main characters, they're kind of there in supporting teacher roles. So, Simon Pegg's a teacher, Nick Frost is the weird guy who
Crazy
sells
man
drugs.
In the woods.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of kids. One of the kids that was really recognisable to me? It was bugging me.
Yeah?
Not the main one, but he was in something. One of the kids was in something recently.
I'm not sure. Sorry, I didn't really. None of them stuck out to me that much.
Joe, I think it was. I think it was that movie about the kid who lived in Mars or in a space station and then came to Earth. I never saw it, but I saw the trailer like a bunch of times at the theater.
I'm not even sure what you were on about.
He lived at a space station, and then the love interest who was on Earth was someone who I knew, not personally, obviously, but like it wasn't Steinfeld. I don't know, someone about her age range though. You know, it was
I can't help you on this one.
Nah, but the whole thing was that he had to come to Earth, for something. I think he actually just came down because he wanted to see her, but then he was dying because he couldn't handle the atmosphere because he'd never been to Earth. He was born in a space station and lived in a space station, or Mars. I think maybe Mars.
I don't remember seeing this trailer at all. Like, you're saying you saw it quite a bit, clearly.
Oh yeah, it was one of those trailers for like 3 months. I got it before every single movie, which is why I remember it so freaking. Other than the title, obviously.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It was a thing.
This is ringing absolutely no bells to me.
The Space Between Us. That's what it was called.
Nope.
I think.
You think?
I think that was the brat from that. That's what I'm saying. The brat from that was in this.
You might be right.
I think so.
I'm
anyway.
intrigued now, because
who was the love interest? Tell me who the girl was, because that was like a big part of it.
IMDb.
Because he was like he was Skyping with her, and she never believed that he was in space. She thought that was a joke. Until he came down, and it was weird because he'd never been on Earth before, and didn't understand anything.
Gary Oldman, Janet Montgomery.
Gary Oldman's a scientist.
Wong's in there.
You think at the top?
No one's sticking out to me.
Strange. Yeah, but what about the kid, the main kid? Surely he's at the top of the list.
Asa Butterfield.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he's not actually anywhere near the top of the list. He's like just before see full cast on IMDb.
Okay, they've got a weird order, and that's not my fault.
So maybe the girl you're looking for is somewhere even further down.
Very possibly, but yes.
Yeah. Is this the kid? It is. Yeah, you're all right.
Good. So that 5-minute tangent about A Space Between Us.
You were right.
I was correct. That's good. It's relevant. I feel vindicated. So,
good.
So Slaughterhouse Rulez. You've got like kind of a Hogwartsy kind of private school. There's no magic, but that's how they kind of describe it. He's like, oh, the head teacher, who's Michael Sheen, he's a bat, and then there's the popular girl that you have no chance with, and then we're the losers.
Yeah.
And that one's the most loser of the losery of the losers. And that was basically how I describe it. And then there's like monsters that come out of the ground and they have to fight them off.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
I don't know, Joe. It's funny. It may end up in a decent time. Something about the trailer wasn't clicking for me.
Really?
I feel like I know exactly the movie it's trying to be. I can see it in my head. I know what it's trying to do.
Yeah. But
something about the trailer just felt a little bit too bland. Like it was trying to do the witty dialogue. It was trying to have the interesting characters, but it all felt a bit forced to me, and the humor wasn't landing. But that might just be the trailer. The movie itself might actually.
It might be it does seem a very compressed trailer in that sense. There's a lot of characters it's trying to show off.
I feel like it may be neutering its own comedy because it's trying to sell it in such a short time. I'm hoping the delivery and the pacing is much better in the movie. Obviously, the movie's concept appeals to me, and obviously I like Peg and Frost, so.
Yeah, it's out Halloween, I think, so it's a nice little, maybe something fun for the Halloween cinema trip.
Well, I mean, there's an actual Halloween movie out for Halloween.
But is that out on Halloween?
It's the week before, so to make sure everyone can go see it in the week of Halloween, right?
There you go. This is out. I mean, I assume on Halloween. It says at cinemas Halloween here in the trailer that you provided, so I assume Halloween.
Yeah, I don't see me rushing out to see this one, to be honest, though.
No, fair enough. I mean, it's more if you want to go see something on Halloween, right? And you've already seen Halloween the week before.
I'm hoping that Halloween's good enough that I'd want to see it a second time on Halloween. That's what I'm hoping.
Fair enough.
Please be good, Halloween. Please be good.
I kind of hope it's awful just to see your soul get crushed.
No. I've already had like 2 Rob Zombie movies, you malicious prick.
This is like when you want the Star Wars movies to be awful. I want, yeah,
Yeah, but
I
I
want
have a
this Halloween.
legitimate reason for Star Wars. I've been drenched in Star Wars advertising for the past like 3 years. I'm sick to death of it. That's why I want it to be bad.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, this it doesn't really matter. What I really need to be atrocious is your Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot,
But that's not going to
because
happen.
I
You know
have to
why?
hear about that every single time we record.
Yeah, but that's not going to change just because the new reboot's bad.
So this doesn't. I mean, if Halloween's bad, it doesn't make the original any worse, but it still hurts you.
But here's the thing: if it ends up being good, and if the Halloween movie ends up being good, that hurts you, and
No, it doesn't. I can still enjoy it.
I'll chalk that up to a win in my column because you don't get what you want.
I win either way because I like those things well enough that hey, there's a new good one. Sure, I'll enjoy that. If it's bad and it hurts you, just as good.
Moving on, we get a trailer for a film called Bel Canto, and this is based on a book. Julianne Moore's in it, Ken Watanabe's in it, and it's about it's in South America. A group of terrorists or rebels or whatever you want to call them, basically rushed this country house hostage, and kidnap all of the rich people inside, which includes Julianne Moore's character, who's an opera singer, who's there to kind of, I don't know if she's there specifically to entertain them or if she's just a guest at this party, but
Yeah, it's a little unclear in the trailer.
but it becomes a hostage movie where these characters have them held hostage for days, weeks, maybe. It's hard to tell what the span of time is in the trailer. But there's negotiations going on, and there seems to be a bit of Stockholm syndrome. There's like friendships forming between some of the native people who like don't know each other very well, between some of those people and the people at the party, between two people at the party. Like,
Yeah, there seems to be a moment where someone comes to the door and one of the rebels shoots him and then looks horrified. It's like, oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Just trigger finger.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if this was based on any real event. It turns out it's not. It's based on a book. I looked it up. It's based on a novel, and the whole thing builds up to the idea that if they all appreciate her singing, the rebels included, they all think she's a great singer, and that maybe if she goes out in the balcony and sings, it will convince the people negotiating to settle on something and achieve their goals. Which, because they want to get some prisoners released, that is their aims.
Yeah.
And so the end of the trailer is her walking out in the balcony and someone says it's time and she's just about to start singing, and it cuts to the title. And I'm like, I get that that's going to be a potentially big moment in the movie. It feels weird to go all the way up to it in the trailer because it feels like that's the entire thing.
What I think's really weird is not really hearing her sing properly.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. It does actually say in the end of the trailer that it features the singing voice of so-and-so. So it's not Moore who's singing, it's an actual opera singer who's going to...
Yeah, I wonder if that hasn't been recorded yet.
Yeah, they're still working in that, and that's why the trailer's oddly absent of singing.
Because it does feel weird to, okay, you're telling me she's this big singer, but we don't really hear her sing at all in the trailer.
Yeah. It looks like kind of a... It's like a movie that wants to be Oscar bait, but it's not actually going to get there.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like to me. It feels like, okay, you've got Julianne Moore, you've got Ken Watanabe, and it's very proud to say they're both nominated or winners of past Oscars, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But it looks like a movie that's going to be forgotten. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it comes out, maybe it gets great reviews, maybe it's this great like drama and this inspirational ending where her singing convinces them and changes the world. But the trailer makes you feel a bit in the sappy side and doesn't quite...
I think...
Yeah,
I think the problem is from the trailer it feels a bit easy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, just her singing, that'll solve it.
Yes.
It feels like, okay, I don't know why this works.
It feels a bit Lifetime TV movie.
Yeah.
It feels a bit Lifetime TV movie, and I think it's probably going to just like fade into nothingness.
I think John, it's trying to. It seems like it's all grim and gritty, right? We got all the rebels, hostages,
Yes.
all this stuff, and then it's like, but it's fine. Power of song, that'll solve it all.
There's nothing religious about it, but it almost feels like a Christian movie. It's just if the song was going to be religious, it'd be a Christian movie.
You're right, yeah,
and that'd be it. But here we are.
Yeah.
So the last trailer for the week is called Another Time, and this is one that I put in because Not because the trailer itself is that interesting in terms of what, because Justin Hartley's in it. He's obviously on This Is Us. He was the Green Arrow on Smallville originally. I mean, I don't know if he did stuff before that. He probably had a career before that, but that's where I know him from
If I
originally.
recall, he was supposed to be Aquaman
Oh, he was
as well
in the pilot. Yeah,
he did the pilot. Yeah,
he only got Green Arrow. That was like a consolation prize. Hey, come and do this instead.
that's what I thought. I'm like, yeah.
So we know he's not a bad actor because, I mean, not that he was doing great stuff in Smallville, but he didn't seem like a terrible actor.
It was never his problem on Smallville. There was.
And obviously, I've only seen the pilot from This Is Us, but people love that show. From what I saw, he was fine in it. But this movie looks atrocious, and the performances look terrible. And it's not necessarily the actors' faults per se. This is one where I honestly think the direction is probably a big reason. The direction and the script. This looks dirt cheap, but it has that really weird middle ground dirt cheap look to it where it looks expensive enough that the people making it, they've got some production value in terms of, okay, they've got some locations, they've got some proper lighting, but it looks kind of like a TV drama or a cheap TV thing.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the audio's a bit rough. I don't know, you were probably...
Oh yeah, it was distorting a few times, and I was like, oh, that's not good.
It feels really cheap, which wouldn't be a big problem if the story was good. But here's the plot of this movie, right, from this. So it's called Another Time. So I clicked on it thinking it'll be a time travel thing. And then after about 20-30 seconds, I went, oh no, it's not that then. Okay, it's just this sappy romance about a guy who's into this girl, and his friends like, just get over her. And he's like, no, I can't.
Oh, you know what's funny? You say, oh, you think it's time travel. That guy he was on Heroes, Hero. He was his friend.
Was that actor?
That's that actor. So yeah,
okay.
he was the sidekick to the time travel.
I remember the character actually, but I didn't recognize him. And he meets this Justin Hartley meets this girl who was an atrocious actor, by the way.
She was, yeah.
But it has this because it honestly, her acting, the scenes with her acting felt like it wouldn't have been out of place in something like The Room or something like that. I mean, it wasn't quite as bad as like Tommy Wiseau.
No, I think that's a little bit harsh, but it's not too far above it.
Yeah, it's not so much that I'm saying she was as bad as the people in that movie, but the overall feeling I got from that scene was of a movie of that quality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I do.
And then he's like, oh no, and then it turns out she's got a boyfriend, and the friend's like, oh, it's a shame we can't just go back in time. And then all of a sudden, he's in some dude's garage, and the guy's explaining time travel to him, and he's like, oh, it's very complicated, and I can't just send you back now. And then he does go back in time. So let me just point this out. This dude in his house has developed a time machine, and the only thing it's seemingly used for in this movie is to send him back in time so he can fight for a girl.
To be fair, he doesn't have it working yet. He's like, look, the equations aren't even finished. And Justin Hart is like, so? He's like, what, are you going to finish them? And then he looks at it, and I'm like, piss off. I will believe time travel. I will not believe he is a super genius enough to solve time travel just looking at those equations for 5 minutes.
And obviously, the trailer clearly implies that instead of getting the girl who's already got a boyfriend, he's going to fall for the bartender that he was talking to.
Yeah.
The trailer completely sets that up, right? So we know how it's going to end from the trailer. That's fine. But the way it just diverts into a time travel movie, especially a time travel movie where all it's doing is him going back in time to try and like get a girl. I mean, I compared the last thing to like a religious movie, but it actually does kind of feel like I've brought this trailer up before for this horrible Christian movie called See Me Dance. It's like the letter C, Me Dance, right? And it's this girl, this dancer who gets cancer. That rhymed. I didn't even mean that. But she gets cancer. And it's just like this like really horribly acted trailer where she's crying her eyes out, and her dad's like, oh, come here, sweetheart. And she's crying her eyes out. And then all of a sudden, like halfway through the trailer, it turns into this thing where there's this guy who's claiming to be the devil is coming after her. And it's like really, really bad. And this reminded me of that because it was just this really bad drama for the first half of it. And then all of a sudden they're talking about time travel and going back in time. And I'm like, why is there time travel in this movie?
Yeah. Do you know what else the problem is I saw this movie earlier this year just as a comedy on Netflix.
Yes, I did. I saw that too. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
No,
the booth.
Time After Time? No, it wasn't Time After Time.
No, no, it was the one
When
with
we
the
first
photo
met.
booth.
When we
That
first
was it.
met.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was it.
and that was this movie with the same ending, just as a comedy. And I'm going to stake my reputation on it here. Better.
What reputation?
Screw you. So I will. There was a point in this trailer where I nearly went, "Oh, is that what this is?" Because it was really mundane for like
Yeah.
half the trailer, and then
I'm curious actually. See when you're watching a trailer like this, and I've put it on the list.
I'm like, "Why?" Yeah,
Yeah, you're waiting for it. You're waiting for why I put
like,
this here.
I'm like, yeah. And there's a moment where he goes, "Oh, I just have to leave it," and the friend goes, "You could always kill the boyfriend." I'm like, "Oh, is that what this is gonna do? It's gonna be him killing the boyfriend and then taking his place with the rest."
Yeah,
I was like, "That could be fun."
And that was the other thing. It felt cheap because it felt like it kept cutting back to the same locations that were really
Yeah,
simple.
there was about 3 rooms and a bar.
Yeah, and then time travel.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's-
I really thought when he said, I thought that's it. That's what this movie is. He's going to kill the boyfriend.
And
then
here's
it
the
just
thing:
fucks
I
over.
always champion a good low budget bottle movie. You can do an entire movie set in one room, and it can be fascinating. But you have to have a director who's shooting it to make it interesting. You have to have a plot that's intriguing. And nothing about this movie is intriguing. It's just
No, that's the
simple
thing.
shots.
I don't even think direction is the most important thing when it comes to bottle movies. I think script is king. I think
Oh sure,
if you've
yeah.
got a compelling script and good dialogue, you can just sit a camera and watch the actors if they're good enough as well. Obviously.
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, I think obviously directing the actors is part of that, which is why I'd say the
It
direction
is,
still
yeah.
very important. But obviously, if you're going to do that though, and I think it can be done, and I love there's some Cube's a fantastic little sci-fi movie, which is
Yeah.
I mean, it's they're technically in multiple rooms, but it's all just a copy of the same room with different colors, and that is literally they had one set because famously when they were making Cube, they had 1.5 cubes. That was a set, 1.5, and they just changed the colors,
Why not?
and that was what they shot the whole movie in. And that's not got the best acting necessarily, but
It's got a good script, presumably.
that had enough of a hook to it. That had enough of a cool idea that it
Yeah.
carried itself throughout the film. Whereas I watched this trailer and it's just like it's mundane scenes with mundane personalities, if you can even call them personalities. It's that thing where when I compare it to something like The Room or Birdemic, it has that weird fake feeling to the characters where, oh, he's just a successful, good-looking guy who wants a girl, even though he looks like a guy who could have any girl he wants. But that's even a line in
They
the trailer.
point that out, don't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
And it just feels so fake. Like, what does he do? Because there's a scene in the trailer where he's with his boss, and his boss is like, "Now here's the boss-employee relationship. I thought you understood. I tell you to do something, and you do it." And all I could think was, what is your job exactly? What are you doing? Yeah, and not that it's even that important, but it makes me think of like that scene in Birdemic where he's just on the phone and he's like, "Oh, I just made a big sale, $1 million," and it's like we know the company does like solar panels and stuff. They're into green energy, but beyond that, we don't really know what they're doing. Like it's all just made up. It's kind of like what someone assumes another job is like without actually knowing anything about it. And not that even that happens in this trailer, but that scene reminded me of it. It just that combined with how he talks to his friend about how he can't get a girl and how he's depressed about not having someone, all of it just kind of felt fake. It all just kind of felt like this is the type of drama you're supposed to have in a story, so this is what we put in the script without understanding how it works.
I think the worst part is they're aware that doesn't make any sense when you've got Justin Hartley there.
Yes.
And they had someone address this like, "Hey, you could have any girl you wanted." Then take it out of the script. You know this is a problem. You know this isn't believable. So stop doing it.
Yeah, have it be that he can't get over someone who really hurt him, so he doesn't want anyone, and he can't connect to anyone. And the one person he connects with, he has to go back in time to get. I don't know. There you go.
There are ways to do it that don't annoy me.
Yeah, it has. Like I say, it has that weird fake feeling to it where it feels like aliens wrote what they thought humans sound like humans, like aliens who have watched a lot of movies and TV but never actually spoken to a human being, so they try and write a script about human beings and it comes out sounding like this. It's like what they think what we sound like, and it's roughly in the ballpark in terms of the ideas,
but it's just not quite real.
Yes, that's what it feels like. So that's another time, and I won't be watching that movie anytime. Thank you very much. You can join us another time for the next episode. But before we get to the outro, we have to pick our favourite trailer of the week. And this is actually kind of rough this week because there was nothing that really was amazing. Like I think the two best ones were probably Kindergarten Teacher and Slaughterhouse Rulez. But neither of them were even like
But
complete
both
home
had their
runs.
problems.
Yes, both had their problems. If I'm picking one, I'd go with Kindergarten Teacher because I still think it's the more interesting of the two movies. Whereas Slaughterhouse Rulez for me, I knew exactly what it was trying to do, and I felt like it was failing a little bit.
That's fair. I think I'm gonna go with Slaughterhouse Rules because while I agree, Kindergarten Teacher might be the better movie, that was actively misleading with its trailer. With the music, like it just felt
Sure.
wrong. Whereas Slaughterhouse Rules might get some things a bit wrong. It might not land, but I know what it's trying to do. I can see it.
Yeah, I think the reason why I picked Kindergarten Teacher, beyond the promise of a better movie, seemingly, is that there's actually moments in that trailer where I felt the tension of, oh, she's taking the kid, she's making the kid let her into the playground to get him out, and I was like, okay, like I get the tension of this scene. It's hitting me the way it's supposed to be hitting me. Whereas Slaughterhouse Rulez, I felt the comedy was mostly just kind of like,
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. That is this week's trailer talk. So by all means, let us know what you thought of the trailers this week in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Check out our other shows. And of course, if you want to support our channel and our show and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and you can get a bunch of extras over there. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. And it's a big help if you do it. And if you can't do that, don't feel too bad. You can, of course, support us other ways. Liking, commenting, subscribing. Of course, the simplest way is to actually just turn off your ad block and let the ads play on YouTube. That's something you can do. But hey, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching movies, guys. We'll see you next week for a bunch more trailers. Of course, movie news comes a day after this does, so look forward to that as well. But that is it. So thank you again. We'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.